ערב טוב לכולם, ואנחנו מאוד שמחים שהגעתם. Good evening everyone. I'm very happy to see you all. I'm happy to see familiar faces, and I'm even happier to see new faces, because we think, Smadar and I, and hopefully a few other people here, think that genetics is really relevant to us all. It's relevant to us in many different stages of our lives. So I think it's relevant to people who are planning to start a family and for pregnant women, because there are so many genetic tests that women can do when they're pregnant, and they can do many tests before they get pregnant to check whether they are at increased risk of having a child with a genetic disorder. There are many genetic tests that could be done in newborn babies and also in children suffering from various conditions. And then there are many genetic tests that could be done by adults to see whether or not they are at risk of various conditions such as cancer, neurological diseases, cardiac diseases. For some of these conditions, there are treatment and prevention, whereas for others, there's no treatment or prevention. And we'll talk this evening about the difference between conditions that do have prevention and those that do not have prevention, and whether or not this changes the question of sharing genetic information in the family. So Dar here and I, we're both genetic counseling in our background, and we thought that genetics and its many implications should be discussed outside of academia and outside of hospitals. And this is why we have established the Israeli Center for Genetics and Society. This is our website, so you're all very welcome to see what's on it. And we're trying to facilitate activities like the evening that we're having tonight, and to really discuss various implications of genetic testing. So tonight we'll focus on a very interesting topic of the belonging of genetic information. Does it belong to the person? Is that familiar? What are doctors' obligations around it? We'll talk about three main aspects of it. So we'll talk about the ethics, the ethical aspects, and Professor Anneke Lucassen is here from the UK, and she will share with us her knowledge. And that's my first thank you to you, Anneke, for being here tonight. More to follow. We'll also talk about some legal aspects of it. Smadar will talk about that. So thanks, Smadar. And Goldie will talk about the psychosocial aspects of sharing genetic information. So again, thank you to all the speakers. And also a very, very big thank you to our partners tonight. So the Blomfield Science Museum here in Jerusalem, this beautiful room, and I would especially like to thank Tal Bar-Lev, who is sitting here, and Eti Brind and Shlomi and Summer for all their help in organizing this evening. And also to Aggmon & Co, Rozennberg, Cohen & Co law firm, who are our partners as well tonight. And I'm very honored to introduce Daniel Zekel, who will open this evening as well. And I also want to thank Ayelet Golomb, planner, who is not here tonight, and Meirav Abadi and Rachel Gilon from your office as well. Thank you very much for your help.
Okay, I'll be very brief, everyone, so we can get to the good stuff. Firstly, we're very pleased to be able to support this evening. I can tell you as a lawyer, as a commercial lawyer that specializes in technology law, this field is both fascinating and frightening. 15 years ago when I started as a commercial lawyer, the hot topics, the hot areas of law was the internet and computing. Today, 15 years later, I can tell you that the hot areas, particularly in Israel, are cell therapy, are genomics, are bioinformatics, areas that I see every day, and we as lawyers are having to learn a whole new language. I think this is an area that's going to infiltrate the law more and more, and I think it'll be very interesting to see how the law, for example, adapts to what is a very fast changing field. So without further ado, firstly, welcome to everybody. Enjoy the evening, and I look forward to hearing what's going to happen.